Hello and namaste, everybody. I would like to welcome you all to my channel, Saichik Tayari. In this channel, I have always been, helping you with, so many of my videos, especially for language learning. And today and from now on until the day we finish, I am going to upload some videos to help you prepare for second paper of TSC exam, especially English. So what are the things that we should keep in mind? How can we prepare for English in a short period of time? That is very important. All of us have been taking so many exams, but when it comes to writing the answers in a proper way, we are pretty uninformed and we do not have enough ideas to rightly and finally explain what we want. So there are always right techniques, and through this video you learn those writing techniques as well. I will teach you all the 10 chapters thoroughly in short, so that within a month you can be eligible to write for your TSC second paper. So without any delay, let us start. Okay, TSC exam. TSC, you already know what it stands for. Teacher Service Commission exams. It is a competitive exam. So I am helping you prepare for second paper, and the subject is English. Second paper. First paper was GK, and you had GK related to education, you had IQ, you had ICT, and all those. After having qualified, after having, you know, having been tested through the first paper, after you pass that, you have to come to take the second paper. So in the second test, it is subject based. If you come from a Nepali subject, you will appear the test of Nepali. If you come to appear for social studies, you'll take social studies paper. So likewise, those who have English as their subject, especially in the secondary level, they will be taking the English test. Okay, and altogether, this is the subjective paper of 100 marks. So the full marks for this paper will be 100 marks, and the pass marks PM will be 40 marks. 40 marks. Out of for all of this, we'll have 10 questions in total. 10 questions, which are basically categorized into two groups. The first group is pedagogy. The first section is pedagogy. You will be asked questions being based on pedagogy. There are 5 chapters under this. This is nothing but just the science of teaching. You'll be learning about the methods of teaching in pedagogy, the first section. And the second section is about content based, or questions will be asked from cognitive level. Cognitive level. There will be 5 questions from this second section. 5 from the first and second. And the first section should be written in one answer sheet, while you'll have a different answer sheet for the second section. Otherwise, if you do not do that, that will be cancelled. That will be crossed out. Okay, so the first thing is that you should understand what we have in the syllabus of TSC second paper. All right, so there will be 10 questions. As we are, writing the exam to become a teacher, we should know how to teach. So basically, the chapters, the concepts, the subjects will be based on teaching and testing. How you teach anything and how you test, how you evaluate. Those are the things, especially. So we already are experienced enough to, to have been informed about how teaching is done. We already know how to teach, but still, to make sure that you're teaching scientifically correctly, you have to know certain techniques which the philosophers have introduced and come up with. Okay, So there will be 10 questions, 5 from pedagogy, 5 from content or cognitive level. All right. So teaching and testing, they will be talking about especially 4 skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. These are the only 4 things which we are going to teach to the students through those what do we call it, the syllabus, the entire syllabus of secondary. You are going to teach listening skills, you're going to teach speaking, reading, and writing skills. So how are they categorized? How should you write? How should you explain? How should you design the activities to teach? All of those are very important. Okay, we shall in short discuss about all of those. So it is subjective. What does it mean, or what do we mean by subjective? In subjective, we explain and write. There is no fixed answer. While in objective, we have fixed answers. We'll have one word answer, we'll have only two words answer, you'll have multiple choices, but here you don't have anything. It all depends upon your ability to explain, how well you write, how well you explain, how well you have understood the question. So subjective question in as a whole is a big challenge to write. It's a big challenge because it requires a proper understanding. It's not that you write whatever you want and you pass, you expect to pass, you can't, because it is a competitive exam. You should have gone through the books, you should have underlined the main things, and you should have jotted them down in a very sequential manner. You have to link the ideas properly. You have to make sure that all the technical terms have been included in that. All right, let me clear the board, the manual board, which we have here right now with us. I'll soon be coming up with another digital board as well. Okay, all right. Now, I've already told you how many chapters will be there. There will be 10 chapters, and each question will carry 10 marks. How do you write? How do you write? This is a written examination. In the written examination, how should you write? What is the best way to write? Like first, you'll be given one question. So whenever you see the question, you have to make sure that you understand the question. Do not immediately start writing once you see the question. Sometimes a single word which you fail to notice in the question will, alter the answer. So you can't just take the question for granted and start writing or scribbling whatever you want to write. So first you have to make sure that you have to understand and you have understood the question thoroughly. After that, you have to answer accordingly. There should be proper task achievement. In language learning, it's very important. Task achievement means, have you answered the question fully or not? If your answer is perfect, grammar wise, length wise, everything is perfect. But still, if you have not answered the question fully, not even partially, fully, it has to be answered fully. If it is not answered fully, even if your writing is flawless, you will not get a proper score or a good score for sure. But if you have understood the question, maybe you have made some grammar mistakes, some minor spelling mistakes, that might be ignored as well. Okay, you might score more. So understanding the question is the very first thing which is very important. Another is the terms, words or vocabulary. Vocabulary is very important. What you write, what words you use to explain anything will determine whether you have understood that subject matter or not. So vocabulary is very important. This will show the range of words that you have in your head while studying, because you are a teacher yourself, and while teaching the students, they should know, they should learn from you as well through the listening process. They should learn. So right vocabulary, right technical terms should be used. By right, what do I mean is, like if I say, if there is a word grammar, you can't call essential skill in English is grammar. You can't tell that. This is not the skill. This is the aspect of language. Vocabulary is the aspect of language. Pronunciation is the aspect of language. Okay. So skill means listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Those are the four things. So you can't say aspect in place of skill or skill in place of aspect. That is technically wrong. Your answers should not be technically wrong. They should be correct technically. So make sure you understand all of the things in the right way. So if you have understood those things in right way, you'll get the good score. But unless having studied those things, having gone through those things, you can't make sure that you have understood things in the right way. Okay, so vocabulary is very important. As you write, you should know the words like connotative, denotative, syllabus, curriculum, and then there can be many more. I can give you a long list of words which can be even, challenging for us to define. We should be able to define all of those challenging vocabularies, challenging words, technical terms that are used in the education sector, especially while teaching English. We're talking about English, so we have to remain confined to the extent of our subject matter. Okay, so task achievement is very important. You should have understood the question very well. Vocabulary, and another thing is grammar, of course, grammatical range and accuracy. So with this, what do I mean is you should write things grammatically correct. You should use proper tense while writing. You should not make mistakes related to grammar. That should be fully accurate. And the other thing is that main thing is the range. And main thing is the range also within this one. Grammar, use of tenses. Range means what are the different sentence structures that you have been using while writing. Sentences can be simple, sentences can be complex, sentences can be compound. Okay, they have their own characteristics. So you should make a perfect mix of all those types of sentences in order to make your answers better, in order to write better. Okay, so range is very important, and here A stands for accuracy. GRA, grammatical range and accuracy. And then, so these three criteria are very, very important. And one more thing, you can, take it together with vocabulary, called cohesive devices. There should be proper use of cohesive devices as well. What do I mean by this? In order to link the text within the sentence, one sentence to another sentence, paragraph to paragraph, you need cohesive devices. What are those? Those are linking words. Furthermore, in addition to, hence, in a, not, cell, that is why, therefore, which is why, all of these words are cohesive devices which will help your writing look better, of course, without any doubt. But you need a perfect practice in order to be able to write all of those things. So cohesive devices, then only your answer becomes a complete answer. Because when we teach writing, how do we teach writing? To the kids. If we do not know ourselves how to write, you need, for free writing, guided writing can be easier, but free writing cannot be as easy as we expect, as easy as the guided writing. There are, guided writing exercises as well as free writing exercises in our curriculum. You must have gone through the secondary level curriculum. You should have a complete knowledge of the entire curriculum, how the assessment is done, internal and external assessment is done. You should know that. Okay, I'll be talking about all of those in my coming videos without any hesitation and without any doubt. But for now, for writing, remember one thing: technical words are necessary, and you should never misinterpret what you have written. You have to interpret them in the right way. Interpretation here means explaining things in the way they are supposed to be explained. Okay, so in my upcoming videos, I will start explaining about all those chapters in detail, starting from the first one. The first chapter is teaching and testing oral skill and language function. That will be our first chapter, and we should start from listening. What listening is like, how it is taught, and what are the sub skills of listening. Those will all be discussed in this channel, in the videos to come. Okay, so thank you for today.